محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The topic tonight is going to be on peer pressure. So which one of you younger guys in the front can tell me what, because when you think peer pressure, you think middle school, you think high school, you think older people, right? But that doesn't mean you guys don't go through peer pressure as it is. So who in the front can tell me what peer pressure is? Maybe one of these guys in the front. Yeah. What's peer pressure? Peer pressure, not pressure. P-E-E-R, pressure. That's what I'm asking you. Yes, you, sir.
When you're forced to do something. Middle school.
Well, okay, when you're forced to do something, what else?
Middle school.
Middle school. Middle school is peer pressure?
It's so hard.
It's not pressure. It's not just pressure. It's peer pressure. Yes, sir. Huh? School is peer pressure? That's very vague. That's extremely vague.
Peer pressure when like your friends, talk with your friends, and they're not really your friends, and they force you to do something that's bad.
So your friends can't force you to do something that's bad. Your friends, your real friends don't peer pressure you. They do. Or they don't. They don't. Your real friends don't peer pressure you. You guess now. Yes. When someone tells you to do a dare, okay. 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 Much better, right? Because we don't want to get too specific when we talk about peer pressure, right? Because when you think about something specific, when you're on guard for something specific, you open yourself up for a surprise attack, right? If you think, okay, an attack can only come from the front, you're going to give all your attention to the front. You're not looking behind you, you're not looking to your sides, right? So you're vulnerable. So it's good to be a little bit vague. Peer pressure is when you are pressured to do something that you wouldn't normally do. You feel some kind of inclination, like something is pushing you towards something that you wouldn't normally do, right? So most of us wouldn't just scream in a sit down like that, right? In a situation like this, most of us wouldn't just scream or laugh or push or fight. We wouldn't, because no one else is doing it. But if our friend is telling us, hey, let's fight, let's play, we may be more inclined to do it, right?
Yes.
So who can give me some examples of peer pressure that you may have gone through or that you may have seen? Yes?
Like if you have to write a speech but you don't want to, you're being pressured to do it.
That's homework. That's homework. Peer pressure is not just a one-time thing, right? It's not like somebody just telling you to do something for no reason, right? The reason peer pressure is such an important topic and that we really have to worry about it is because peer pressure influences behavior. It influences a pattern. It makes something consistent. If someone tells you to just do something one time, it could be peer pressure, but it's so dangerous because it can change your thought process. It changes your behavior. It changes how you look at life, right? So who peer pressures us? Friends and family. Good. Like who? Teachers. It's not family, but who peer pressures us from our family? Thugs. You know thugs? I hope you don't know thugs. Who peer pressures us from our family? This is important. We have to think about it. Your mom and your dad. So was your mom... Okay. Focus. This is an important point, guys. Our mom and our dad peer pressure us, right?
No.
They don't. So your mom and dad don't influence your behavior. Your mom and dad don't influence your behavior at all.
Oh yeah, they do.
They don't push you to do something or prevent you from doing other things or try and shape your outlook on life. That's what they're for. Of course our parents do that. But so then is peer pressure necessarily bad?
No.
Our parents would not tell us to do something that is, in their view, wrong, that is evil, that is sinful. Right? So peer pressure can be good. Who else peer pressures us? Friends? Parents? Who else?
Teacher.
Yeah, not teacher, really.
Mafias.
Not mafias. Yes, sir. Bullies, okay. Bullies can come under friends. Meaning like strangers. Strangers, right? What about the people from your own culture? They don't?
Oh, yeah, they do.
They do, right? Because if you dress a certain way, they're offended. If you talk and act a certain way, they're offended, right? If you want to wear this color or this hairstyle, they're offended because that's not how, quote unquote, we do it, right? Doesn't mean this is necessarily bad, but it doesn't make it good either. But it is pressure, right? Who else? And this is also very important because we have to look at it from an unbiased point of view. Because we think peer pressure is always bad, right? And that can put us on the defensive. We have to know how to live with it. Because human beings, we're societal creatures. We live in a society, right? This is a huge crowd, right? We influence each other. We teach each other. We learn from each other. We warn each other. Especially as Muslims, Allah says the believers, they encourage others towards good and they forbid each other from evil. That is a form of peer pressure, right? If you come into the masjid and everyone finishes their fard salah, they just finished praying Isha, 4 rakat of Isha, right? And all your friends, every single person in the masjid stands up to pray their sunnah. And you sit there on your phone, you sit there just playing with your fingers, you're going to feel a little bit left out, aren't you? You won't feel left out? Every single person stood up to pray their sunnah and you didn't. And your friend is looking at you like, you're not praying your sunnah? And you're going, no. Okay. You're not going to feel a little bit bad? The next time you guys pray Isha, aren't you going to think, maybe I should pray my sunnah? Everyone else is praying their sunnah. I don't want to look out of place. Not the proper intention, but it's still a form of pressure. Right? So, that being said, where else do we experience peer pressure? A form of peer pressure. Friends, bullies, parents, culture. Where else? Important. Where are we, guys? What is this building called? We experience peer pressure in our religion. Right? Whether good or bad. Whether it's disguised as Islam or it actually is Islam, encouraging us, pressuring us to do what is good. To do what is good. Right? So, why is peer pressure important for you guys? Especially for you guys.
Because it can influence our behavior.
For what? For how long?
For the rest of our life.
For the rest of your life. You guys are like wet clay. You guys are Play-Doh. Right? You guys are Play-Doh. If I put my palm print in you and take it out, that's my handprint. Right? So when somebody comes and they influence you at this stage in your life, what happens when you leave Play-Doh out on the counter for too long? It dries up. And can you squeeze it up anymore? What happens to it? It breaks. Right? So if someone can mold you, your parents are molding you. The religion is molding you. The culture is molding you. You as an American is being molded. And if as many people put their hands in you, they're going to shape you at this point in your life. And as you get older, it's going to be harder for you to change whatever that behavior is, whether it's good or bad. So it's important for you to be aware of who and how you're being influenced. Right? So, and not only that, not only as just young men and young women, but as Muslims. Right? Because our standards are different than everybody in the whole world. No matter what country you go, no matter what culture you go, our standards are going to be different than the people who are like us. Right? Than our neighbors, than our countrymen, than the people who look like us, talk like us, speak the same language. Our standards are going to be different. So we have to be careful who we let put their hands in the Play-Doh. Right? Yeah. So, how do we address peer pressure? What is our way of dealing with it? There's no way we can avoid it 100%. There's no way, unless you live by yourself in some far off mountain, that's the only way you could avoid peer pressure. Because if you're dealing with another person or people, they're going to influence you and you're going to influence them. What they want from you is going to change what you give to them, and what you want from them is going to change what they give to you. It's not necessarily good or bad, but it's important to be aware of it. Because it's how we live with people, it's how we deal with people. Right? So, we need to learn how to live with it and how to not turn our back on it and ignore it, and how not to worry too much about it. Because if you think about a tree, think about a tree in a storm. It's a windy day today, right? When the wind blows, what does the tree do? When the wind is blowing hard like it is, you guys have seen the pictures of the hurricanes in Florida, right? What do the palm trees do? They bend, right? They don't. If they were hard and stiff, they might snap right away, right? They bend. When the force comes, they move with it, and that takes some stress off, right? But they also don't just fall over right away. So we need to know how to be aware of what's important with the people who are influencing our lives. What do we take from them, and what do we ignore, and how do we deal with it as Muslims first, and as young people second, right? So I have a little formula, okay? It's a 3-step kind of formula. You have to embed this in yourself and check yourself by it. Whenever you hear someone tell you this is how we do something, or why are you doing this, or why aren't you doing that, right? We need to be aware of who is telling us what and why, right? So first thing is first, we need to know what Allah wants from us. First things first, right? Because why is that the first thing that needs to be known? Why should that be the first place we look? Not even generally good or bad, but what is halal and what is haram? What is clearly right and what is clearly wrong? Right? Why is that important? You guys need to think, because you're not going to have this much time in real life, right? If you go to high school and all your friends are saying, hey, let's go outside for a cigarette, they're not going to give you 10-15 minutes to start, planning your attack, to planning your defense. Yes? Okay, Allah told us not to do this stuff, but why is that important if Allah tells us not to do something? Basic answers. When you see a red light, what do? Good. I want answers that simple. Don't overthink it. When Allah tells us not to do something, why do we not do it? Because it's bad?
Because He said so.
Because He said so. Allah said so. Allah said so. And when Allah says something, Allah is the one who created us. Allah is the one who created us. Allah is the all-knowing. Allah is the ultimate right. Allah is all-knowing. So when He says something is wrong, stay away from it. That's all we need. What more justification do we need? If we understand it or not. And if He says this is something we should do and never leave, same thing. We should do it and we should never leave it. Right? And that's for what is clearly halal and clearly haram. Things that are mustahab, things that are makruh, things that are a little bit gray, let's put that to the side for now. Right? But we need to know what Allah wants from us. And how do we know what Allah wants from us? How? If your friends say, hey, let's go to the gym, do you know what Allah wants from you there? If your parents say, I don't want you to go to the masjid at Fajr, it's too early, it's too dark, I don't like it, what does Allah want from us? If your mom says, I don't want you to do this, stop it. And you're like, I really want to do it. Whatever it is. Watch the show, go to this place, talk to this person, buy this thing. What does Allah want from us? How do we know?
I want you to listen to your mom. I want you to listen to your mom.
But how do we know that? How do we know this? Because some things we know and some things we don't. But how do we get to know the things that we don't know? This is a problem, guys. We're Muslims. We're Muslims. We pray to Allah 5 times a day. We turn to Him for all our problems. He created us for no reason except to worship Him. So how do we worship Him? By doing what He wants. How do we know what He wants? Are we stuck? Anything? Yeah. Oh, sisters. Yes, sister. Tells us in the Quran, the Book of Allah. The Book of Allah. ABCs, guys. ABCs. If you want to know what Allah has to say to you, you open the Book of Allah. Simple. Those are His words. What He loves. What He does not like. What He wants and what He doesn't want for us. Simple. How else? He sent the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to guide us, to teach us for what he wants and what he doesn't want. Right? So it is important for us to navigate this world, to navigate our problems, our conundrums, our discrepancies of what we need to do, what we have to do, where we're being forced to do, by learning what Allah sent us, the Quran and His Messenger. To learn them, to not just read them, to not just memorize it, to not just, recite to the teacher, but to understand what Allah actually wants. Right? It's very important. So, who can give me some situations? Because when I was younger, which is a while ago, my time is different than your time. The things that I went through are different than the things that you're going through. I don't know what problems you're facing. The world is different. It changes every year. It changes. So what are some situations you guys deal with where it's clear? The clear answer is what Allah wants and what He doesn't want. What He likes and what He doesn't like. For example, when it's Christmas time at school. It's Christmas time at school. I don't know if you guys have Christmas parties.
Yes.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Secret Santa, right? Stuff like that. So if someone tells you Merry Christmas, hypothetically, let's say, hypothetically, if all your friends are saying Merry Christmas, or your teacher's coming in the room, and she's going down the room, the rows of the students, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, comes to you. Merry Christmas. What do you say? It's awkward, let's just say it back. You say it, right? Just because it's awkward, it's weird, right? Or what I said before. This happens, right? Let's not pretend it doesn't happen. Your friends are one of your friends got a vape. Right? One of your friends got a vape. What birthday cake flavor? I don't know what they have. Right? One of your friends got a vape. And he's showing it off and he's passing it around. Right? He's passing it around. It's coming to you. All your friends did the same thing. It's so cool. They're all laughing. They're taking pictures, taking selfies, it's going on Instagram. Right? It comes to you. What are you going to do? Try it, right? At least be honest. But we need to know, but at that point, what's clear? It's something that Allah doesn't want from us. Right? He doesn't want it from us. He doesn't want us to approve of shirk. He doesn't want us to involve in haram. Or even in the masjid. You guys are talking about your friend behind his back. Making fun of him, joking about him. Right? What does Allah want from us in that situation? If you don't say something, you're not in the fun. You're not getting a laugh. You're not getting attention. If you say, listen, this is haram, you're going to be the buzzkill. You're going to be the killjoy. No one wants to talk with you. No one wants to laugh with you. No one wants to hang out with you. They're not going to tell you another joke when they have one. Because you're the Debbie Downer. Right? Debbie Downer? You kill the fun. Everyone's having fun, making fun of your friend, calling him names, saying, look how he fell, look at this video. And you say, guys, this is haram. We're backbiting. It's not good. It's, it was funny, but it's haram. We don't make fun of him. Now, who was right and who was wrong? You are right to say no. In their eyes, you're wrong. You're boring. But in Allah's eyes, and here's the point. In Allah's eyes, who is right and who is wrong? When you say stop, you're right, and if you continue, you're clearly wrong. Right? And when it comes to Allah, again, the right is clear and the wrong is clear. The second thing is, after we learn and we realize what Allah wants from us and what He doesn't want from us, we have to recognize, what do we want from ourselves? What do you want? No. I don't want Sunday school answers. I don't want I want to be a good Muslim, I want to see my parents, I want to Jannah, I want to... No, tell me what you want. You want to get a laugh. You want to smoke the vape. You want to... Listen, let's be real. Because I went to high school too. I was a teenager too. Okay? You want to talk to the girl. Right? You want to message her. You don't want to do your homework. You don't want to listen to your parents. You want to have fun. You want to enjoy yourself because you're young. Because the day of judgment does not seem close to you. Right? Because you are molding your personality. You're figuring out who you are. You're not in school anymore. You're not under your parents' roof. You're not in the masjid. You want to know who you are as a person. You want to build yourself to what you think is a good person, a cool person, an important person. You want to put those pictures online. You want to pull your hijab a little bit down. You want to put a little bit more makeup on because that gets you attention and that makes you feel important, which is what you want to be as a young person. Right? So we have to be honest about what we want from ourselves. Be honest. Be crude and honest. Tell yourself. Don't tell anybody else. I want to do this. I want this. I want to do this even though I know it's wrong. And then you have to ask yourself, is this a good thing to do? Is this good? I want it, but is it good? I want it, but again, check it with the first thing, which was, what was the first thing we checked? No. Does Allah want it? And if we realize if Allah wants it or doesn't want it, we push that to the side automatically. Allah wants it or He doesn't want it. We have the answer already. But if it's something where it's a little bit gray, now we ask ourselves, do I want it? Is this what I want? Or am I being made to think this is what I want? Am I being told this is what I want? Are my friends convincing me this is what I want? Do I feel left out and that's why I want this thing? All my friends are showing me pictures of their girlfriends and I don't have one. I feel left out. Come on. I feel left out. All my friends, I see the pictures of them at that party last night. I was at the masjid Friday night at the youth program. I feel left out. Right? I want to be there. I want to have a story to tell. I want to have a nice profile picture like they do. I want to have a funny Snapchat. I want all these things that they have that I don't. Because I'm a Muslim, because I'm left out. That's what you want. But then ask yourself, is it good? Is it good? Is it good according to whose standards? Allah. That's how we check our standards. And this may be a hard pill for us to swallow. Right? Because there's always a conflict between what we want and what's good. Because we have this concept that we're going to be good when we get old. We're going to be good when we're not as pretty. We're going to be good when there's not as much fun to be had. We're going to be good after I'm done with school, after I'm done with my friends, and after this and that. Right? But that's not how it works. Okay? So after we check what does Allah want from us, and what does He not want from us, we check what do we want honestly, and is it good? And the third thing is we check what do the people want from us? What do my friends want from me? What do my parents want from me? What does the community want from me? And is it good? And why do they want it? Why do they want it? Right? And that's important. We have to say, what does my friend want from me when he says this? When he laughs at me when I says I have to go pray, what does he want from me? He's doing it for a reason. Right? He's just taking a shot at me because I'm the strange foreign brown kid. Right? I have to go do my prayer. Right? It's funny for him. What does he want from me? Is it good? And why does he want it? I remember I had a teacher, and I told him that I was teaching kids like you actually. I was teaching younger kids, and I told him I couldn't do it anymore because I have my own classes I had classes I wanted to take myself personally. Right? So I had to make time, I had to stop doing this class, and I had to do what I wanted to do. Right? I checked first. Is this what Allah wants from me? Is it haram, halal? It's in between. It's nothing wrong. It was a good thing to do to study. Right? It wasn't haram, it wasn't specifically halal. Right? And then I checked what I want to do. I wanted to take the class. And it was a good thing for me to study Islam, so, to take my own steps and go a little bit further. And then I should have checked what did he want. Because I went to him and he said, you shouldn't do it now. You should stick with what we're doing now and teach the kids. And I said, okay, I trusted him. Which is good to trust people, but I kind of got to thinking, why did he want this from me? He didn't tell me to do anything wrong, he didn't tell me to do anything haram. But why? Because it was easier for him, an assumption, but it was probably easier for him to not have to find somebody else. And it took away from what I wanted to do. So I felt pressured to now give up what I wanted, right? Not that it was haram, but I gave up something that I wanted. We always have to think, what do people want from us? Because they could just want us to be their little stooge, their joker, right? The person that they keep around for a laugh, that they can rag on, that they're their little punching bag, You're our friend, but when we're bored, we're going to make fun of you because you can't eat in Ramadan, right? We're going to keep you around because, you're like the most religious of us. You're the good one in the Quran class, right? So I guess you have to go home and practice. Oh, you can't play with us, right? Why are you always like this, right? We're going to keep you around because we're the pretty girls and you're the one who wears a hijab, right? You make us feel better because we're always done up and you're not. That's one side of the coin, right? It doesn't always have to be bad, but we always have to be aware what do people want from us, right? When the uncles at the masjid tell us to do this or not do this, what do they want from us? They could want good. They could easily want good. When our parents tell us to do things, they want good from us, right? But again, we have to be aware when we make these decisions. When we say, okay, I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to follow you, I'm going to go with my gut, or wait a minute, let me think for myself here. Okay? So, when it comes to peer pressure, we need to remember a few points. First, we have to check when it comes to this conflict of what do we do and what do we not do, what does Allah want from us? What do we want? What do we want? Do I really want to go here and do this? Or is my gut telling me I don't? Right? And is it good what I want? And if it's not good, if what I want is not good, how do I make it good? And what do people want from us? Is it good what they want from us? And why do they want it from us? Okay? And a few points to remember just generally is that when it comes to peer pressure, we're looking for acceptance. We're looking for people to like us. We're looking for something out of it. Or else we wouldn't change our behavior. That's why we change who we are. That's why we change our normal status quo. That's why we do things for people when we feel like we're lagging behind. That's why we push for our parents, we push for our friends, we push for our community. Right? Or we do wrong for our parents, wrong for our friends, and wrong for our community. Because we're looking for something. When it comes to Allah, when we defer to Allah and what He wants, you will never lose. If it's acceptance you're looking for, when Allah loves someone, when you do what Allah loves, and you get in His favor, then you will get everything. Because when Allah loves someone, He tells Jibreel, I love this person, so you love him, Jibreel. And that's enough. But on top of that, Jibreel goes to the people of heaven, the inhabitants of the heavens, and he says, Allah loves this person, so you love him too. And that's enough. But he goes on. And then acceptance for this person that Allah loves descends upon the people of the earth. So if you're looking for acceptance, and if you're looking to be included, and if you're looking for a high status with the people, the best way and the guaranteed way to do that is through obeying Allah and doing what He wants and being firm upon what He wants. And you'll always win. If you feel like you're lacking behind, if you feel like you're excluded, if you feel like you're not involved, you're not getting far, you're the odd one out, you will always win with Allah, even if it's not apparently today. Even if you're still like the weird one in class, the one that's held back, the one that can't eat in Ramadan, the one that can't go to the field trip or whatever, for whatever reason, the one who wears a hijab, the one who we see him praying in the hallway in the staircase. You may feel weird now. You may get laughs now, but you will always win in the end, for sure. And when you learn to navigate between people and what they want from you, whether they're your peers or your elders, you gain a sense of maturity. And you gain a sense of respect. Because they may not invite you for everything. Your friends may not include you in everything, but they will always respect you. Don't give him the vape, he will take it. He doesn't do that. Don't tell her, why do you wear hijab? She's not going to entertain that question. Don't give him food, he's fasting, it's Ramadan. Don't you know it's Ramadan? Oh, that's whoever he prays. That's him, he's praying on the staircase. Leave him alone, he does it every day. As long as you're not weak, they'll respect you. They may not accept it. They may not follow you. But at least they'll respect you because you're firm and you're strong. And it's also a form of da'wah. We're always trying to figure out how can we give da'wah, how can we show people what Islam is, right? Even if we're not the most knowledgeable speaker, the best speaker, the most eloquent speaker, or we don't know that much, right? You can be firm, and you can show people that this Muslim he has a clean tongue when everyone else doesn't. When everyone in class is cursing and swearing, he has never swore. I've never heard a bad word from him. When everyone is having a pizza party, or they're going out and they're going to eat after school, he's fasting. Yeah. When everyone else is showing pictures of the girlfriends and this and that and partying, whatever, he doesn't do that. And he's not ashamed of it either. That's important. He's not ashamed of not doing it. Because we make excuses, right? We try and belittle ourselves. We say, why don't you hit the vape? Oh, I can't do that, I'm not allowed. As opposed to, I don't do that. I'm a Muslim. What sounds more stronger? I can't or I don't? I don't. I don't do that because it's my choice as a Muslim. I wear the hijab. I'm not being forced. My parents aren't forcing me. God is not forcing me. I do it because I want to. I don't smoke. Not I can't smoke. I'm sorry, guys. I can't have a girlfriend. I'm sorry I can't talk to you. I'm sorry I can't text you. I don't do that. It's different. Right? It's a way of learning to say no and building self-respect. So as Muslims and as young people, you need to shape your identities now. You need to make your imprint in the Play-Doh. And make sure people are making it for you. First comes from deferring to Allah. Then you defer to yourself. And then you can take in what other people are saying. Inshallah. Are there any questions? No questions regarding peer pressure? I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys go through at school for peer pressure? Because you may not even realize it. Because peer pressure can be verbal. Someone can tell you to do something. Someone can do something in front of you, right? Not homework. Someone, guys. Someone can tell you to do something. Someone can make fun of you and make you feel left out, or you can do it to yourself. You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on Snapchat. You see people doing things, and they look so good doing it. You see people living the life that you see on TV, that you see in movies, that you hear in music, living that life, and it looks so good, and you know that you're not part of it, and you feel left out. So you can do it to yourself. You can influence yourself. So what are something you guys go through? Where are the high schoolers? I know all of you guys have an answer. What about you? Yeah. From anyone. Parents? No, guys. Not tests. Yeah? Something? No, but... So, okay, no. This is a good situation. And this is a real situation. Guys, this is a situation I've been in. Whether it's smoking, whether it's vaping, whether it's marijuana in the bathroom. This is a real life situation that you guys go through in public school. Right? So okay, what do we do in this situation? For example, what is a way we can deal with this situation? So I want you to answer me. Pay attention. I want you to answer me now. In this situation, what does Allah want from us? Okay? No, He doesn't want us to do it. Right? What do you want from it as a person, as an individual? What are your wants now? So once we say what Allah wants, we have an answer. Right? Once we figure out what Allah wants from us, we have an answer, we have a direction. Okay? But it's important to get the other answers for the questions so we know how to do this in the future. We figure out more about ourselves and figure out more about other people. So what do you want from the situation? Okay, don't say anything. Just like, yes, no. No. No, right? You don't want to do it. Is it good that you don't want to do it? Good. Now, what do they want from you? They want you to do it. Is it good what they want? Why do they want that from you? Do they know you? So they must not want something good for you if they know you. Because you don't walk up to someone on the street and say, here's $5, I want something good for you. Right? You don't do it to strangers. So think about it. Why are they giving me this random person? They don't even know my first name. Why are they giving me a vape to vape in the bathroom? Are they doing it for my sake or are they doing it for their sake? Because you're entertaining them. You're the younger one. What? Look, I'm going to get this kid to vape. Now you're realizing they don't really care about you. They don't care if you're cool. They don't care. They just want, it's entertainment. It's important to figure this out. So next time they do that, if you realize somebody's trying to clown you, now you're going to be less inclined to play along. Right? Anyone else? Okay. No questions? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت وأستغفرك وأتوب إليك.